In this video I want to talk about shadows. And what are shadows? Shadows is a term used by psychologists as the unconscious or repressed, denied parts of us that are kept out of sight. And the emotions that are normally wrapped around these parts of us are guilt, shame, unworthiness. And there's a fear there that if we show those parts of us, that people won't love us, that they won't accept us or approve of us. And therefore we create strategies to keep them out of sight. And our saboteurs work with us to come up with these strategies, which then become the armour to protect us, to keep us safe. And the reality is this impacts our self-esteem. It makes us risk-averse and we become afraid of speaking up. We set weak boundaries, become sensitive and defensive, and on the lookout for danger, which impacts our health, our vitality, our relationships, our love and our connection with others. And so when we're triggered, we might find that we're acting in ways that feel unfamiliar to us. And we use our sadness or our anger as a way of protecting, of keeping ourselves safe. And it's easy to think our shadows are bad, but this isn't necessarily the case. And the way to break free from your shadows is to understand them, to integrate them. One of the best ways to identify your shadows is to pay attention to the emotional reactions you have to others. And sure, maybe that other person is angry, aggressive, competitive, greedy, selfish. But the reality is you wouldn't be having such a strong reaction to that unless you saw those qualities in yourself. And the seer and the seen are the same. They're the same, and whilst we don't want to admit that those negative qualities are a part of us, the reality is that's why they're triggering us. That's why we're having this emotional reaction to them. And healing our shadows, it's hard. It's coming face to face with parts of ourselves that we don't like or don't accept. And so get to know your shadows. Get to know them, accept them, allow them. And if there's some healing work that needs to be done there, then do it. But don't keep those parts of yourselves in the darkness. Bring them into the light. As always, when you're doing this deep inner work, treat yourself with compassion and kindness. Self-love and self-acceptance is the way to transform those shadows. And so if you want to dive deeper into this work, we have put together this wonderful worksheet which will help you identify the things you don't like about yourself, the things that you try and hide from other people. And so you can become conscious about them. And when you become aware of them, you can become consciously whole. And if you want to work as a collective, as a group on this, because we know that this work can be deep, and it can be challenging at times. So we have a 3-month intensive group coaching program starting in May, which you might be interested in. Or if you want to work on your shadows in a one-to-one environment, then you can work with Patricia or I. You can contact us using the links below.